Those three words have been bubbling up through the blogosphere ever since President Obama served up a huge flaming pile as his opening stance in the fiscal cliff negotiations with the GOP. And I use negotiations loosely. Let it burn. What's it mean? Well, I'm Steve Green. This is Trifecta, and here to explain what it means, my cohabitors in the tiny rectangles of fun, Scott Ott and Bill Whittle. Scott, Americans have become so frustrated with our political process, with these manufactured crises, the out-of-control spending, and all the rest, that they are now willing, some of us are now willing, to run off the fiscal cliff, hit the debt ceiling, and just let it burn as Washington runs out of money. Scott, have these people lost their minds?
Well, first of all, I think we're slaves to our little metaphors. The fiscal cliff, for example. I mean, a year ago, I remember when that was being politely referred to as the sequester, which, you know, just sounds like the horse that came in second at Pimlico. I mean, now how did it suddenly become the fiscal cliff that is going to be some sort of terrible disaster? The debt ceiling. We're going to slam against the debt ceiling. This is the way that positioning experts manipulate our minds to make us think that there would be some terrible tragedy befall the country if for some reason all these guys who we paid to come up with ways to save the country actually just crashed and burned. They didn't do anything about it. The reality is these guys can fix this problem. They're the elected officials who made these laws. They can reverse these laws. They can do whatever they want. They're just not willing to do it.
Well, we'll see how willing they get as New Year's gets closer. Bill, you know, it's not just the crazy bloggers sitting at home in our pajamas dreaming up this stuff, but even though they don't actually use the words "let it burn," I want you to watch what a couple of very big names have to say about the budget talks.
They obviously expect the Republicans will cave on everything. I think the Republicans ought to simply walk away.
The safest, the best thing to do is back out of this and let Obama and the Democrats have it and do what they're going to do, because that's going to happen anyway. I don't know about you, but I don't want my fingerprints on this.
I know I don't either. This frustration isn't just at the grassroots. So why is Speaker John Boehner taking important committee assignments away from real fiscal conservatives, which he's doing right now, and offering up big tax hikes to Obama? Isn't Boehner maybe the biggest part of this problem? Isn't our frustration really with him and the rhinos on Capitol Hill?
I know this is going to be in rather poor taste, but if Adolf Hitler and Himmler and Eichmann and Goering and all those other guys had survived the war, and as a gesture of magnanimity, they'd put them in charge of the Jewish Children's Relief Fund, you could say they might do the job, but that their hearts wouldn't be in it. And that is what appears to be going on to me in Washington. These clowns are the guys who raided the Treasury. Both parties. I think I stand with most Americans now. The president is facing this financial crisis. He's somewhere. He's off on vacation, as far away as he possibly can be, so that his fingerprints aren't on it. I'm glad that Rush and Charles Krauthammer are such stalwart trifecta watchers, because we talked about this a week or two ago. This idea that since we can't stop it, rather since we can't turn it around, all we can do is dig our heels in and get blamed for the failure. We're going to be blamed for the failure. If there was a news media in this country, this wouldn't be the case, but there isn't, so we will. So really, this Gator flop thing, you just kind of fall down and make it clear that you're not voting yes, you're just voting present. Just the entire Republican body should vote present, abstain basically, and say we think it's a catastrophe, we want nothing to do with it, but we can't reverse it. We're going to be blamed for it if we do stop it. So you voted for socialism, America. Enjoy your consequences.
Unfortunately, they hit us all. Scott, if we do hit the debt ceiling, the gravy train derails, or is there something the White House could do in response, something to keep the money flowing out of D.C., whether legal or not, whether constitutional or not, sort of the administration's own version of let it burn?
Yeah, the government doesn't stop. It keeps going. I mean, the next day after they shut down the government, people with government jobs go back to work. And so this is just, the whole thing is a myth. And I'm not sure, though, that this whole let it burn strategy even has any hope of doing anything. I mean, isn't this, in effect, what happened with Obamacare? I mean, that got rammed through without any Republican support. It's still the law of the land. It's still going into effect. And we all said we didn't like it, but it's still happening. So how will our taking our fingers off of this thing somehow make people look at us and go, hey, you're okay? All they look at is they say, hey, you're not willing to cooperate with real change. I don't know. I've lost so much faith in the possibility that anything good's going to come out of Washington, D.C. I'm hoping simply that they remain deadlocked for the next 4 years and don't do anything at all. At least it will follow the Hippocratic Oath's first imprecation.
Yeah, to be clear, I don't think the strategy has anything to do with getting people to like the GOP. I think it has to do with people being so frustrated with the GOP refusing to take a stand that absolutely collapsing the party may be the only hope out of this thing. Bill, as you mentioned, a couple of weeks ago, we all argued that the GOP Congress should give the president the tax hikes he wants, but nothing else, and then just go home. Now, in light of Obama's intransigence, is that just too timid a play?
We are reaching, it's not a question, we are reaching, we have long surpassed what I believe to be the recoverable tipping point in terms of confidence in government as it exists today, Steve, as it exists today. I think Scott Rasmussen said that the approval rating for Congress is now in single digits. No organization with that kind of an approval rating is a statistical fluke. That's almost the margin of error, right? When you hit that kind of bottom, you no longer have confidence. And Rasmussen says the number of people who believe that they are being governed without their consent is now above 60%. This entire theory is dependent on having a Congress that's responsive to the will of the people and having confidence in it. It's like confidence in money. If I have a piece of paper with a picture of Andrew Jackson printed on it, I can trade that for something only because the other person believes it's worth something. And if neither party believes it's worth anything, then I can't make the trade anymore. And we are rapidly approaching that point with this entire, not only with this Congress, but with the entire idea of a Congress. And they earned it, Steve. They earned this kind of contempt. They took all the money out of the vault and they spent it all, and these people are addicts. We have drug addicts and alcoholics in Washington ruining things with flamethrowers as fast as they can, and there's nothing that we seem to be able to do about it.
Well, if you don't like that $20 bill anymore, Ben Bernanke can print you up a $1 trillion bill, and I'm sure that will restore your confidence. All right, folks, I've never felt anything quite like this. There is a moment here, one short moment over these next 3 or 4 weeks to show that America still means something, that November 6th did not seal our fate. And you know what? We might be surprised if we do run over the fiscal cliff, how quickly Americans discover they can get by without $1 trillion of handouts. Now, fortune favors the bold. Take this moment. It might be our last chance. Let it burn. For PJTV, I'm Steve Green.